All right. Hello, Kaypacha.
Hello, Fateh, and everybody else out there on planet Earth.
Yes, hello, everybody who's joined us today. Thank you so much for coming.
So here's the scoop now. Fateh has invited me to accompany her on an amazing healing journey to India. She's going to tell us all about the healing journey. I am going to be discussing what I'm bringing with astrology, yoga, and the chakra information associated with the planets. So here is Fateh, our host and guide for this event, and I will be with you shortly myself.
All right, thank you, Kaypacha. Well, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself. But before I do that, I'm just going to say that astrology and having good friends as astrologers is one of the most important things that has led me through my life. And I have friends in India that don't even go outside their door without consulting their astrologer. Can you imagine? This is so true. Okay. After many years of being a CEO of a software company in Florida and also in Hong Kong and various places, I decided to live a more conscious life and a healthy life, and to spend my days raising consciousness. And for that, I decided to open a wellness retreat here in Costa Rica, and I was very fortunate to have Kaypacha come there, and that's how we met when he was doing the Envision Festival here in the south of Costa Rica. We also have some things in common, such as Kundalini Yoga. I'm a certified yogi teacher. I've been teaching for about 15 years now. And I've developed a lot of personalized detox programs here in Costa Rica, which we do, including Ayurveda, which we're going to talk about in much more depth later. I'm an artist and a retreat leader. I studied Feng Shui with Larry Sang, who is the owner of the American Feng Shui Institute, and I use that in all of the buildings that I design. And past life intuitive. What this really means is that part of the pilgrimages on my spiritual journey have been to spend time, quality time, with the three most conscious individuals that we can say are alive on this planet Earth: the Dalai Lama, the Taisatupa Rinpoche, and the Karmapa. The first two being the teacher of the Karmapa. What makes these people special is they're the only people on Earth who have been able to predict their next reincarnation. And the Dalai Lama has done it 12 times, the Taisatupa 14, and the Karmapa's on his 17th time. So that's quite a few thousand years of doing this. And in my mind, it's irrefutable. Belief in reincarnation is a very important thing to me, and having spent time with these people has allowed me to develop some of the past lives that I've had and to be in connection with that. Part of a healthy lifestyle, of course, is also eating right. So I spent a lot of time as a vegan chef as well. This is just a little collage of some of the important people to me. My students here and in Bali and in India, wherever we go. You'll see above a picture of the high priestess of Siddhaman, one of the last high priestesses that was alive on this planet. She has passed last year. And down below, you'll see a mutual friend of Kaypacha and I, Pakuman, who is one of the most incredible healers from a lineage of healers that we both see when we're in Bali.
He's amazing.
Yeah. And he's sending energy right now to us, by the way.
Great.
Now with modern technology, we can get in touch with all these people at a moment's notice. So what is Ayurveda? Okay. Way before, thousands of years ago, they say 5,000, 6,000 years ago, there were these Vedic rishis, these people that they considered to be conscious individuals, people who have been able to reach a higher level of consciousness. And those people developed the science about health, and it wasn't separate from spirituality. I've thought a lot about this. You know, what happened to us human beings? How did all this get separated? And, you know, we looked at the Middle Ages, and then recently I've looked at the Spanish Inquisition was probably the hardest blow on humanity, especially myself, coming from Peruvian Indian background. I can see where and how that dichotomy existed. And now what's happening is we're going back to these ancient sciences, these natural ways of understanding. And we look at the unity of the microcosm, the body, and the macrocosm, nature and the universe. So here is the perfect fit for astrology, because of course astrology was a part of all of this science, as we put it, right? And there's a clear connection with spirituality. And when we're able to use Ayurveda, we're able to recondition our consciousness to go beyond negative behaviors. Indeed, to transcend to a mindful lifestyle, because it is a holistic system. So it's very interesting, because if we look at today and we look at the rhythms of time in people's day, we find that life is a chronic mismanagement of time and space. At least that's the way it was for me concerning my health and spirituality when I was a CEO living in the United States. It undermines your health and it creates a lot of stress. So what Ayurveda does is it steps back and it says, well, how do we balance ourselves? How do we balance the right and the left side of the brain? How do we balance our rhythms? And we heal through lifestyle, food, spices, and herbs. So you see this outlay of stuff there on the table. That is actually my breakfast at the Somaterum, where we're going. I ate all that food every morning, and I still lost plenty of weight because I was losing all the toxins out of my body. So what's important in Ayurveda is it looks at the forces of nature. And these forces are composed of the elements space, air, water, fire, and earth. And it looks at these and it says, well, how do we digest and eliminate? And what could be deteriorating physically, emotionally, and spiritually based on any domination of the elements? So this is very similar to Chinese philosophy and Feng Shui as well. And if we look at astrology, every single sign has a dominant characteristic of one of the elements as well. Right, Kaypacha?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so basically what the doctors do, those that are, you know, have many years and are certified in Ayurveda, and it's a study of a lifetime, probably many lifetimes, to be able to reach where we were thousands of years ago. And we look at how the body types or doshas are in balance. And those body types are Vata, Pitta, Kapha. The Vata is the space and the air. The Pitta is fire and water. And Kapha is water and earth. And all the combinations of those. So what you have are these questionnaires. And I also created one out of my own experience too. And all these doctors have their own. To ask different questions to try to find out which one of these elements is more dominated. And because that creates an imbalance, okay? And Ayurveda looks at the multiple rhythms in our lives, daily, seasonal, but also the transits of the planets. And this is very important. We need to know where the moon is. We need to know where the planets are in order to figure out where are we in our rhythm. Is this time that we should be getting more sleep, more sex, or less? more food or less, and what kind of food should we be eating on these daily, seasonal, and transit times. So it matches all of this up. And so it becomes very complex after a while. And it's wonderful to be able to go somewhere where you see a doctor every day and they do everything for you so that you can reach this balance and you can really feel it. So one of the things we're going to be doing is the classic Panchakarma. 2 weeks is really the minimum to get any kind of result. The first week is the cleanse, and that's where you're going to purge all the toxic accumulation. And we're just not talking about, you know, you've been eating at McDonald's. We're talking about emotional traumas and all kinds of other stuff, even past life stuff. And this is really important because when we do this transcending into consciousness, we are actually able to re-access what's called the ahamkara, which is the cosmic memory, the recorder of all lifetimes. And the channels are reopened for information and energy flow. So when we become balanced, we get all of these fantastic results that come out of this. And then so after we go through the purge, we do a rejuvenation called rasayana in Sanskrit, using herbs, diet, and lifestyle to refill the energy reserves. And it's very important to be at a place where, like in this place, they grow all their own herbs. And they have very, very good teachers in terms of yoga, and it'll be offered twice a day in 3 different levels. And the advanced level has every posture and ashtanga you could possibly dream about ever doing. And the teachers can do everything. So if you feel like you're really advanced, don't feel, oh, I'm going to go to this retreat and it's not going to be advanced enough. No. And if you're a beginner, you'll actually go somewhere where you'll be able to start on your own pace. And I believe Kaypacha and I are also going to take the stage sometimes and teach some Kundalini in between, right?
Absolutely. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Except, I mean, I don't want to embarrass myself in front of the masters.
Believe me, they are so happy to get some Kundalini instruction. It's very different. And all of this balancing is going to give you strength and resilience, especially the immune system, a calm mind and confidence, mental health. You'll see a big change in the skin. Also, the different doshas, the fundamental elemental constituents, also rule different parts of us. For example, Vata is the nervous system. The digestion is Pitta, and the skin and the hair and the waters that flow through our body is the Kapha part. So we're able to go through all that and have a more tri-dosha balancing, cleansing the channels and rebuilding energy. So when your doshas are in a balanced state, you don't react like you normally might. Can you imagine if you had a Pitta imbalance? You would get angry at every little thing that frustrates you. A Kapha imbalance, how would they react? They would basically just exit and escape from the world. And what about a Vata? Well, they're the first ones. They get so nervous and anxious, they can even commit suicide, right? Yeah. So imbalance is serious. We talk about bipolar and all this. You talk to an Ayurvedic doctor, they're like, oh, this person just needs to be balanced. They don't need to take all these drugs, right? All of these things can be balanced. The way we react, our highs and lows. And I think this is just super important in today's world. Rejuvenation is a way of going beyond balance and replenishing, becoming youthful and happier with yourself. And that is so fundamental. Why do yogis want to remain youthful? So that we have more time in this lifetime to make a difference. So that when we leave here and our learnings, our cognitive consciousness learnings are set into the subtle body, that we actually got something out of this, that we're not going to have to redo all those lessons again in the next lifetime. That's the real reason. So maybe a lot of you have questions, and there's so much I could talk about this, but because of our time constraints, I think, Kaypacha, unless you have any specific questions on Ayurveda, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Okay. I mean, I see a question in the chat here, but.
Okay. Let me open it up. Shall I open it up, or you want to take those at the end?
Let's take questions at the end. And I don't know, it's, I'm still viewing your screen share, so.
Right, I just have the screen of the chakras that can go with your talk, if you want. Unless you guys want to see me, I can just bring it down.
You can bring that down.
Okay, oops.
Yeah. We'll come back to that.
Okay, let me figure out how to do that.
I'm going to be sharing my screen, so.
Oh, I see. I got you. Oh, I know how to do it. Okay.
We can't both be sharing the old screen.
Yes, exactly. So.
Okay.
I'm going to see how I can get out of share screen. Oh, come on.
There's just a little tab, and underneath it, there's a little thing, little red thing.
Stop share. I found it. Okay, we're good.
All right. All right. I mean, just listening to you and seeing those pictures, I wish this was happening tomorrow.
I know.
Life is so wild and crazy, and a good cleanse and chilling out at this is like, I've never been to a spa like this. I can't wait to hear more about it, but I also want to share what I'm going to be bringing on this journey. This is a mixture. Okay, so we're spending 2 weeks at this amazing spa, and Fateh is going to be sharing about the Ayurveda, and I'm going to be sharing about my latest research, and I swear if I ever had more time, I would make this into a book. The workshop,
you may have to,
would be the, the chakra workbook, because what I'm looking at, and this blends right in with the Ayurvedic, it blends right in with the astrology and the whole approach to healing and health, is that our bodies are almost the final result of our spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. And we want to be balancing and integrating all of these for premium health. Yes, in body, mind, and soul. And so what I want to be doing, and I'm going to just share my my take on this, because it has a lot to do with some. Let's see now how I share my screen. Oh, okay.
Yeah, technology takes a couple minutes.
Now, are you seeing my screen here?
No, I'm not.
Oh, no?
No, I'm not.
I'm glad you're there to tell me.
No, I'm not seeing your screen. Did you stress? You have to open it up. That's one of the things that I didn't realize.
Uh-huh.
You have to open it before.
I see. Okay. I've got this great, this is from Jeffrey Wolf Green, one of my original teachers. And it is basically the chakra correlations that show us, okay, that Neptune goes with the crown chakra. And then we can move right on through all of our chakras, looking at Cancer, Moon, Sun, Leo, okay, Virgo, Mercury, Gemini, throat chakra. Heart chakra we know is Venus, but Venus rules Libra and Taurus. And we move down to the navel. Scorpio is Pluto, Mars is Aries. And this is the whole, back and forth movement, yes, of the prana and the apana. And, So the energy moves, and what I've been seeing and working with now is correlating. So you look at your birth chart, and you look at the 6th house of health, and you look at your rising sign, and these are the chakras that will be, you know, activated, possibly too much, possibly not enough. When you get a transit of Pluto or a transit of Uranus over your ascendant or going through your 6th house, okay, Uranus is down here, it hits your root chakra along with Saturn transits. So, you know, if you have health problems or health issues, I want to, you know, you can see them, you know, in the chart, which is what I think is like so super cool. Okay, now the other thing that I want to then do is just look, and this is what I'm really have been working with a lot, and that's correlating all of this stuff together. Yeah, and I'm going to correlate it with, boom, here we go. Here's our second chakra. Let's just say you have a problem with the second chakra. Okay, can you see this, everybody? Fateh, can you see it? We've got participants raising their hand. Looks like, uh-oh, everybody's raising their hand. Stop share. What's going on? Can somebody type in what the problem is? Oh, you could see it. Saw it, but now I see you. I think we lost Fateh. Oh, yeah. Shoot. I'm going to keep going because, you know, that's what we need to do. And I will come back later. I want to finish what I started talking about. Okay, here we go, baby. So look at, let's say you got a problem with the second chakra, right? That for the element is water. Your second chakra is the right to have pleasure and to feel. If you've got issues with sensuality and touch, sensation, sexuality, you're like emotionally like wired, ecstatic or lackadaisical or up or down or bipolar or whatever, okay? We look at the second chakra, okay? Jupiter and Neptune, Sagittarius and Pisces. What are the goals of the second chakra? Pleasure, duh. Emotional comfort and connectedness, merging. You want to have a positive attitude towards your sexual functions, some responsible relationships, and this is your creative center. This is where babies are born, okay? As you know, they come out of the second chakra. So you've got these character traits. So before you have physical problems, you know, what I'm saying is that, okay, we can look at the chart. You can have, you know, mental problems. These mental lead to emotional. Sometimes the emotional leads to mental. But if you've got cravings or addictions, it's like if your second chakra is under, there's not enough energy. It's not spinning fast enough. This is a lack. So you'll have cravings, you'll abstain from sex, you'll feel anxious or listless, or you'll be naive, starved for attention, emotionally rigid, unstable, sexually frigid. You'll have all these things of like, it's tight and it's empty and it's just like not really happening. If you've got like too much energy and you're spinning that second chakra out of control, okay, then you're going to come into, you know, addictions and obsessions. You know, you'll be more ecstatic and demanding. Maybe you'll feel guilty because you did, you know, something crazy. Okay. You know, you'll seek too much attention. You'll be emotionally confused or explosive. You won't have any boundaries. So we just want to look at, you know, each chakra. And these are the emotional imbalances that you can have, you know. And I hope that I'm just going to keep going because I'm not even seeing myself over there. All I'm seeing is Fateh. working on her video, I hope. So
Can you hear me? Oh, now
now
the
I
video.
can hear you, Fateh, but I still can't see your video. I'm going to keep going though. Can you see my screen?
I can see you. Can you hear me? It says that you stopped my video again.
Wow. No, you just disappeared and left the whole scene.
I know, because my computer crashed when you brought the slide up.
Can you not see my screen share?
I can see your screen share, yes. I
Okay,
can
I'm
bring
going to
that
keep
up.
going because everybody is seeing my screen share and listening to both of us, and we're recording. So I'm going to just
That's
keep
fine.
going. Yeah. Okay.
Please.
So what I'm saying is you may have, and this is what I get with a lot of spiritual light workers, okay, that want to be happy and light and full of love, okay, so they may have some problems with their second chakra, but they pretend or deny or avoid it or whatever. You know, they get addicted, you know, they even to food, like we're talking about, you know, chocolate or, you know, alcohol, drugs, any kind of things. You can get addicted to sex and become obsessive about things. This is all second chakra related. Neptune, Jupiter, Sagittarius, and Pisces is what we're talking about with this second chakra. So if you've got problems there, you can feel it emotionally by feeling isolated, unstable, emotionally numb, overly attached, like, oh my God, I can't live without you. You can have emotional dysfunctions or just feel guilty or ashamed of your sexuality or your needs or your desires or your body, or you'll just have a hard time. What's the basic root of the second chakra? Just the ability and the right to feel pleasure in this body. Yeah. So if you deny these problems, even though you've got them, then you just may end up with what? Problems with these physical organs. These are the organs of the second chakra. All of the sexual organs, okay, the low back, the pelvis, the hips, the kidney, the bladder, the prostate. I chose this chakra because this is where a lot of people were having prostate cancer, cervical cancer. You know, we're having all kinds of second chakra issues and problems in our general society, right? Okay. So if you are having these kinds of problems, what I'm going to be talking about on this trip and bringing to this trip is what? Yoga poses. Okay, for the second chakra, frog pose, cobra pose, butterfly, cat cow. We're going to be doing pelvic lifts, camel pose, locust, bound angle, triangle, warrior two, straddle, the sat kriya. So what we can do is we can be addressing, our our challenges, whether they have come down to being, physical ailments and physical problems, or they are just still at an emotional level where you're feeling isolated or lonely or whatever, then you can go ahead and address, so we'll be at this spa, we'll be eating right, we'll be doing our cleanses, we will be just doing our yoga, looking at the chakras, and then we can pull out our astrological charts, and you can look from your chart and say, okay, I need to not only eat these foods with the Ayurveda, but then I need to watch these emotions. I'm going to bring techniques of emotional release. There's different ways of releasing these emotions that are stuck in our chakras. So we are going to, in 2 weeks, I swear, we are going to go in, okay, as one person, and we are going to come out as a different person. We are going to be cleansed and balanced. We're going to have our chakras spinning in a balanced way. We're going to have yoga poses and kriyas. We're going to have a deeper knowledge of our astrology charts. I mean, it's like, wow. I am super excited. So I'm really glad that you're back online too, Fateh. So
Yes, finally.
maybe you can tell them a little bit about this amazing world-class Ayurvedic retreat center where we're going to be staying. I've never seen it, but you're the you're the expert with this thing. So
That's right. And now I'm going to bring the presentation back online again.
great. Yeah.
So everything has to start again. There we go.
Okay.
Okay. Let me, this is a little bit tricky because I have to share the screen and everybody has to kind of live through this a few seconds. Okay,
all right. Well, maybe I'll talk at the time because I think, here we go. You've started screen sharing. You are there.
All right. Now, let me bring it to where it's supposed to be. Okay. All right. Everybody sees this?
Yeah.
Okay. We are going to a place called the Somateram Ayurvedic Health Resort. And it's India's premier winning Ayurvedic center. And they have a complete Ayurvedic clinic there, okay? With 30 doctors and over 70 therapists. Now, you're probably thinking, well, why so many? Well, every treatment that you're going to have is with two therapists, okay? And they're going to be doing a lot of what we call snehana, oleation, anointing, lubricating, caressing, giving caring energy from the practitioner. I cannot express the amount of kindness and humanness that is inside these people of Kerala. They love Ayurveda. This is like from their hearts, from their lineage. And they start every session with a blessing. They bless you. They bless their work. And you're going to have two practitioners stay with you the entire time. So you're assigned practitioners that are going to stay with you. You're going to see the same doctor and the same therapist. And they're going to go through a whole array, not just Shirodhara, but a whole array of incredible treatments, okay, that will be prescribed by the doctor. It is just really an amazing journey. And part of the dosha balancing diet is going to be, they have this huge area for eating. And each of the trays has a little sign on it, which says what dosha you're trying to balance. And there'll be a lot of different ones that you can choose from. So if you want to balance, you're going to be doing that. And during the cleanse, sometimes people also have a specific diet, which they have to go to the chef with, and they're going to prepare all those things for you.
I love Shirodhara.
Yeah, it's the most deepest relaxation that you can ever experience. Even people who are nervous during a massage will fall asleep. It is absolutely fantastic. So you go into this level of complete rejuvenation, like if you're in a deep sleep. Osho used to say, when you ever reach that deep sleep, then it's the same thing as when you cross to the other side and you just wake up in new clothes in your next reincarnation. It is amazing. And the whole cosmos gives you energy. We're going to have steam baths and all kinds of herbal formulas that will be given to you daily to consume. And as I said, the massages are with 4 hands. So it's really fabulous. This background picture is actually the private beach of the Somateram. The Somateram is actually on the Arabian Sea with their own private beach. And it looks down towards a very, very long beach towards the south. We are going to be doing not only the yoga and everything else we've already talked about on here, but also they offer breath work and chakra meditation too. So it's going to be very interesting. One of the very special treats that we're organizing, which is November 3rd, there's going to be a full moon. And Kaypacha, of course, will be telling us about all the transits that are going on while we're there and why this moon is so special. And we're going to have an authentic Hindi priest, the high priest, coming and giving a special blessing for us, for our group only. And they create this beautiful mandala made of flowers and everything. And it's quite amazing.
Yeah, baby. Hey, me.
Yes, it's a really good picture of you. And Kaypacha is going to be leading our mystery school with his talks. And there's also going to be lectures on Ayurveda and Ayurveda cooking that's going to be held every week by the retreat itself. We're going to have nightly cultural entertainment. That means music with sitars and dancing and drums and all the stuff that India is so famous for. It's really fantastic what they put on. And we're going to go to the backwater, so it's right just around the corner from where we're staying, and also see this beautiful area of Kerala. All your airport transfers are included and your taxes too. So it's a complete package, including everything, so you don't have to think about anything once you arrive and until you leave.
I'm not gonna leave.
Yeah, I know. And people do keep coming back. And that's one of the reasons why we've had to make these reservations over a year in advance, because it is the high season in India. So it's also coveted time at any retreat, and especially this retreat, because they have the highest awards for hygiene in all of India. So don't be afraid that you're going to have, any kind of problems with that, because this is impeccable. They have a German and Indian management. So, try to find dust. It's not easy, okay? It is absolutely incredible. So Kaypacha and I have decided to give a big special, okay? So we're going to price the 2-week all-inclusive retreat with everything that we've talked about until March 30th at $4,999 USD. And for 48 hours, we're going to give a bonus for $300. We've already had one person sign up. So you only have to put $1,000 down to hold your space. And we have 21 actually spaces left right now. And you just have to pay by the end of March to get this deal. After that, then we go into another price range, and the regular price is $5,699 for the retreat. But we really wanted to get people excited about this, and this is about raising consciousness. So we've decided to give up a little to hopefully get some incredible people on this trip, because it's not only about us, it's also about who's in the group. And these retreats are amazing. And I know whoever comes, you will make up the most incredible, amazing group that we're just going to love to be with you and to help you and share this time with you.
So this includes the lodging and the food and the doctors and the massage and the yoga.
And the yoga and us. Everything. The tour, the transfers, the taxes. Everything is included.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything.
And so this 300 after the webinar, oh, okay, for 48 hours, yeah.
Right. So that's a special bonus, right? Very special bonus.
You guys.
For being here today. Right. So you know about this.
Where do we fly to? What airport?
Trivandrum, TRV. And if you go to my website, and the link is right there, you can find the information about that. And also, if you want to do any side trips, it can be arranged. One of you may say, well, I want to go see the Taj Mahal, or I want to go see the Dalai Lama, or whatever you want to do in India. There are people there to help you that we can refer you to. Yeah. Also, the Somateram is very, very helpful. And there's all kinds of really incredible things really close by as well. And you are going to have to get a visa to go to India. Everybody in the world has to get a visa. So just follow that link and fill out the online form. It should be
And
very
this,
straightforward.
This is also on my website, newparadigmastrology.com. If you go to the workshop page, it'll tell you all, you can scroll down and you'll find this, information on this retreat. So where do you find out about the visas though, Fateh? Because that's
in that link right there. Do you see it, Kaypacha? It's also listed on my webpage, but that's the indianvisaonline.gov.in/visa. That's the direct link to the form that you have to fill out.
I can't see that. Can you?
Is it too low, really?
Yeah, it's too low. It's running off of my screen.
Oh dear.
But it does say.
Well, what we can do is we can. Jeannie,
Hope Suzanne can see it, and Peg Morrow and Meredith Morris. Okay. Maybe it's just us. I mean, I can kind of read it, but it's.
I see it fine. But anyways, we can send this presentation. I mean, Jeannie has everybody's email, so we can just send it to them if they need to have, if they would like to have this information, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if anybody wants to get in on the $300 bonus, just send an email to me. I also have a 1-800 number, which is on my website, and you can call me and we can just do the transaction and get your name on the list. And that's all you have to do.
Okay. Yeah. Meredith Morris wrote the indiavisaonline.gov.in/visa in the chat.
Yes. Okay, wonderful.
So
everybody's got it then.
That's helpful too. I know that I have to send mine in right away.
Yeah, it's because you travel so much.
Yeah, I need that back. I hate mailing off my visa to my passport to anybody. I don't like to let it out of my hands.
Well, for those who live in the States or in other countries where they're close to a city, I mean, Kaypacha and I live in Costa Rica. We're out here in the jungle. But other people, you can just go to the office, right?
Yeah.
If it's close by too.
Okay, well, we want to spend these last few minutes answering questions. Here's a question from Kali. How many people max participating? It's going to be a maximum of 22, right?
Yes, well, 21 now.
21, yeah.
Yeah, because we just got one, so who signed up?
21 more spaces. Mm-hmm. And here's Peg Morrow wants to know, Fateh, what is your website? Oh,
what is my website? Waterfallvillas.com. Maybe I can just type this in the chat.
It's actually in your picture right there. I'm seeing it on my screen.
Yeah, well, I'll just change it so that everybody can see it. Everyone.
Great. Great. So, by golly, I hope you're as excited as I am, and I hope I see all of you. At least 21 of you. I mean, yeah, so this webinar, you get $300 off if you sign up in 48 hours. So, by golly, get on there, baby. It's going to be fantastic. I just want to go there now. My whole body is like aching for this retreat.
So do we have any other questions from anyone?
Here's one. What are the accommodations like?
Okay, very nice question. The accommodations are really gorgeous. So and there's lots of pictures also on my website of the accommodations. So really nice beds with canopies and everything. Some have ocean view. Okay, and if you decide to share, like if you're bringing a family member or a close friend or so forth, those are going to be the people who get first pick at the ocean view rooms. Okay, since this is a per person charge, they're going to get the highest upgrade that we can give them. And I've already hand selected the rooms with the Somatherm. Since I've been there more than enough times, I know exactly which rooms are the coveted spaces. And I had to do this over a year ago to make sure that we get it.
We are going with the right person. Let me Fateh is amazing. And she's been there. She knows what she's doing. And there's nobody better to be organizing a trip than somebody who knows what they're doing. Believe me.
Thank you, Kaypacha.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's a lot of details.
It's important for me. Yeah, it's important for me that everyone's happy.
Tiffany wants to know also, when does the full amount need to be paid?
If you are in on the early bird, then the full amount needs to be paid by March 30th. Okay. If you are not on the early bird, then you have until September.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And
yeah. But we have to make the last payments to get everyone in before we leave for India. So September is like the latest administrative possibility.
Okay. And Megan wants to know if there are payment plans. Yeah, what you should do is email Fateh.
Right. As long as everything comes in by the date.
Yeah.
I just run your card every time you want to pay, and we add it all up. And then I have a big spreadsheet to manage this. So
Megan wants to know how much a plane ticket is to India, but she doesn't say where she's from.
Okay. Well, I can tell you that leaving from Houston or Miami directly to TRV, Trivandrum in South Kerala, will cost you around $1,200 round trip right now on Qatar Airlines. Now, if you take other airlines, there's a whole combination. If you live on the West Coast, you might want to go the other way. And then, pass somewhere through Asia. So prices will vary. And I'm talking about economy seats. So if you decide to go, business or first class, of course, it's going to be way higher. But there are really good offers to get to India, especially through Qatar. It's been the best prices I've seen.
Hope wants to know, she can't go to this, but she does want help with health issues and getting into balance. Need something local to me or a phone consult. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I can say, if it's with the astrology and the chakras and the yoga, I have a community that you can join with questions and answers with astrologers and videos and yoga videos, and there's a lot of information on my website that I give. You can get a reading, with me about your health. But I don't know Ayurveda. Fateh, can you guide her? Or?
Well, she can get in touch with me, and I will see what I can do for her. There are Ayurvedic specialists in the U.S., including Deepak Chopra, right, and his places and so forth. There are many sources. So if she gets in touch with me, I will do the best I can to help her. Dennis Jacob is here asking if there are any rooms for single accommodations. Yes, of course there are. Okay, there are plenty of rooms for single accommodations.
Then there's
very beautiful. All of them are very beautiful.
Does the resort offer other packages should you not be able to make this particular event?
Well, I assume that they could.
I think you can go to their website. I went to their website and saw, we could give them the website of the resort. You got to check it out. I mean, it's amazing.
Yes. Yes, of course one could do that. The only thing is, of course, you won't get all the extras that we've put together, right?
Yeah,
so what we're doing is going to be different.
Astrology, come on.
That's right. Well, not only that, but we've put together an incredible mystery school. And just the whole package of everything is not what they normally offer. So.
What is the website? Can you type in the website of the resort in the chat box there, Fateh?
Okay, let me go to the chat again. I'm trying to find it now. Here it is. Chat. I think it's this.
So I see that it's pretty late over there in England. A few people
Yes, I can imagine.
had to go to sleep. So, but this is being recorded, and we will make the recording available if you'd like to check up with this later. But if you can type in that.
Yes, I see someone wrote that it's only 500 euros from Amsterdam. Yeah, if you're coming from Europe, it's going to be a lot less expensive, of course.
Okay, there's the website. Fateh just typed it into the chat box. England is still awake.
Okay, the best way to contact me is my email, and I'll write this here as well.
I'm seeing it on the screen. Any further retreat inquiries, Fateh at waterfallvillas.com.
Right, I know I have it there, but people are still asking, so I'll make it easy for everyone. Oops, sorry, I spelled my own name wrong.
They even have a Dutch translation. Look at, we've got some knowledgeable people on this webinar.
Yes, and I'm really excited to find out who's going to come with, because the group for me is such a dynamic. It's just a wonderful experience for everyone.
I love it. Every group is different, you know, and like one person changes the whole alchemy, and it's amazing who's going to show up. So, all right. Well, if there aren't any more questions, I'm feeling pretty complete. Is there anything else you want to say in conclusion, Fateh?
Only that this is a journey, a healing journey in raising consciousness in a holistic way. And that's why we're looking at astrology and yoga and Ayurveda. And we're trying to go back to the wisdom that us human beings used to have before.
Yeah.
And we're going to find it because it's there. It's just for us to get there and to make it happen for ourselves, to give ourselves this in this lifetime.
Yeah, and I suppose I would just say the only thing I can add to that is you change the world by changing yourself. And when you get your life together and yourself together, you know, that's a major accomplishment before you hit the grave. And, you know, by you being the best, you are being a model, an example. Your magnetic field is open. Your heart is open. You are healing people just with your presence. So let's not forget ourselves. I know for me, I've got Moon opposite Saturn in my chart, and trying to balance the Moon is the personal life with Saturn, the professional life, the outer world and the inner world. This is very important, and I think that the patriarchy has really emphasized the outer world, accomplishment and money and reputation and appearances, and we need to, with the fall of the patriarchy, really come into an appreciation of the feminine, of the inner, of our bodies and our health. And so it's like, yeah, this is, you can really even make a statement to yourself or a commitment to yourself that you know, out of self-love and out of, you know, I'm going to start taking care of myself starting now today. And this can be, you know, a good way to start. So, right on.
Okay. Well, some people are asking here quickly, Kaypacha, about organizing something in a, you know, more rustic place. And I think Kaypacha is going to stay another week to do that. So we're working on that. So if you are hardy, you're very welcome. But I think it's going to be more astrology and yoga, because it's very hard to find an authentic Ayurveda place. And people say they do it, but, you know, if it's just not real, then it's not worth it, right? This place is real. For the Ayurveda, this is the best. And you don't want to mess around with your health. So, but for the astrology and for enjoying India and the space, I'm sure Kaypacha is going to stay a little longer, right? At least
Yeah.
that's the plan.
Yes, I'm planning on staying another week in Goa and doing a week-long retreat there after this. So if you've got 3 weeks, you can get all cleansed and balanced, and then really get a dose of astrology on the afterwards. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Christina, we're narrowing that down now. We've talked to a couple different retreat centers, so just keep looking at my website, and I have a newsletter. You can subscribe to my newsletter. It's going to be in my newsletter, and I'll probably say it on the Pele report. So, yeah, it's going to be in Goa.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah,
want to
people
thank
are asking.
everybody. I want to thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to hear from you in 48 hours. Secure your spots, save $300, and I hope to see you in November.
Yes. All
Okay.
right.
Namaste, aloha.
Namaste.
So much love.